In today's video, we unbox, install, and dyno test the Flat 6 Motorsports intakes for the Porsche Macan.
Welcome back, everyone. This is Joe at Forge, where I share my passion for creating, building, and racing high-performance vehicles. On this channel, I do a lot of how-to guides on custom fabrication, product reviews from the vendors that support our builds, as well as toss in some behind-the-scenes vlogs to show you guys what goes on here at Forge Performance. So if you're new here, thanks for stopping by. And if this is the type of content that you are interested in, please consider subscribing. Now let's get on to the video. Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Joe at Forge. Wanted to take a little break from the normal race car, high performance build type stuff to get a little bit more into the daily driver type cars that we do around here. We just don't really document too often. So a little time ago, I had purchased a Porsche Macan Turbo as a daily. I was driving around a truck, and at the time wasn't moving too many things around that required a truck, and I still have a family of 5, so I need to be able to get a lot of people in my car. So, GTR or R8 or any of the other cars that we typically build just wouldn't work for me as a daily. So I went out and picked out the Macan on the used market. They're great value for money. I mean, Porsche is still ranked, I think, number 2 in terms of reliability and quality, and it shows in that car. I mean, you can get a $100,000 car for high 30s, low 40s with a lot of options, not too many miles, and you don't have to worry about putting it in the shop all the time because it's the reliability of Porsche. So one of the things that I want to do is modify it, and I can't leave anything alone. So we reached out to our friends at Flat 6 Motorsports just across the border in North Carolina. They have quite a few parts available for the car. We're not going to go too crazy with it or anything, just a few little bolt-ons, and then we'll see how it performs out on the road and get some better driving impressions. So what I wanted to do first was get started on the intake system. There's pretty well documentation out there about how these just changing the inlets will gain about 10 horsepower. So we want to see if that's true. So with that, we'll get right into it. So this is what you get when the parts ship to you. So we'll go ahead and open this thing up. So once you got the box open, good packaging. One of the first things that we liked about it, obviously you get your sticker swag. We'll put that on the car somewhere. These come with an air filter and basically a air box top. So the factory air box is pretty well designed already. The Germans have a tendency of doing that. But one thing that they left on the table was the way the box is designed from the factory. Only has 2 little slits, top and bottom, and this is designed to open up the entire air filter, and it's made out of carbon fiber, so it gives you that little aesthetic look as well when you open the hood. And then the only other thing in the box are these gigantic factory replacement air filters. It's a dry filter element machined to fit right in there. So let's go over to the car and get these installed. Alright guys, over at the car you can see how the factory intakes look. It's just a plastic, and then there's the big divider in there that's not there on the Flat 6 Motorsports design. So this is a very quick install. If you have the right tools, you can probably do this inside of about 10 to 15 minutes. First step you do is take off the rubber surround on both sides. And then Emilio's going to help me take the lids off, and all we have to do is take the 4 T25 bolts out. Just unscrew them until they lift up. And then the lid pulls off. And then this side piece here, you pull that out to release the filter, and then you just simply pop the filter out. Alright, so before we drop the filters in, as you can see, the factory airbox is a plastic construction and just has filter elements on each side of it with an area for the turbo to draw suction from. Whereas the new design has a filter element all the way around for a 360-degree flow, which basically allows the air to come in from all directions and makes the turbo more efficient in sucking the air into the turbo to basically lower the pressure drop across the turbocharger and the air filter, and also allows for better breathing. So we're going to go ahead and drop these in. Alright, now we're ready to install the flat 6 intake. We didn't even take the car off the dyno, so first thing Emilio's going to do is take the new air filter. And it doesn't have the same receiver as the factory one, but you just stick the rubber O-ring that's built into the filter up against the factory box. And then you simply just slide the backing plate back into the air box to lock it in. And you just want to make sure that the filter is still on where it's supposed to be, which looks like it is. And the next step is to put the new carbon air box on. So what you have to do with the old one is just run the screws out of the old plastic housing. And then you just put these in their new home. And just tighten them down. See, that carbon fiber looks pretty good. And now the last step is to take the rubber and put it back into the groove that's already molded into the carbon fiber piece. Make sure it's fully seated. And we've already gone ahead and done the other side. As simple as that. We probably spent 10 minutes on that install. Anybody with simple hand tools could get this done. So next thing we're going to do, we've already dynoed it in stock form. We're going to do 2 pulls, 3 pulls with the air filters to see what kind of power we gained. Alright, what you see on the screen there is the last dyno run. So we have the original one in green and the last 2 runs back to back with the new air boxes. And it turned out to be exactly a 10 horsepower increase, just as advertised. Alright guys, that's a wrap. As you can see, the product did exactly what it claimed it was going to do. 10 horsepower on the dyno, and after, that was pretty much back to back. We did the initial pulls, spent the 10 to 15 minutes on installing the airbox system, and then right back into doing the pulls. Couldn't be any more of a real-world, realistic comparison. So with that, we'll see you guys on the next video.